Let me now bring in Mitch Roschelle, financial analyst and principal of Madison Ventures Plus. Mitch, good morning to you. I don't think I've heard numbskull in 20 years. We could start there, but I won't. I'll get to the substance of this. Any writing on the wall for you that tells you what the Fed's going to decide here?
I think the writing on the wall, Markie, is that the Fed's going to keep interest rates where they are. However, I don't know that I would call the Fed chair a name, but I do think the Fed is making a mistake by keeping interest rates where they are. Right now the economy is not so bad. We saw a jobs report last week that was pretty positive. Right now, inflation looks like it's, not rearing its ugly head and seems to be going in the right direction. Yeah. So I don't think there's a lot of risk of lowering interest rates. And if you do lower interest rates, you can spur economic growth. So why not do it now?
So what's he waiting for, you think? I mean, this has been a huge push from the president. The American people would love to see it. I mean, it has tangible impact on people's everyday lives. Where's the exit ramp and what's he waiting for, you think?
Jerome Powell, historically, throughout his term as Fed chair, has been late to the game in making decisions and realize it's not autocratic. There's a board that governs the Fed, and they have been slow in acting. They were slow in acting in cutting rates in the past. They were quick to raise rates. And the other thing, not to get overly technical, the Fed holds a lot of U.S. Treasuries, and they were very slow to unwind that. So I just think it's just the way they operate. But right now, the timing is ripe for lowering interest rates. We thought there was going to be an oil shock over the weekend because of the unrest between Israel and Iran,
right? And
oil came back in. So what's the risk? I say lower interest rates.
We'll wait and see what happens. But in the meantime, Mitch, what can consumers do to navigate the uncertainty? Just kind of, it's a tricky time right now. Everything from credit card to their mortgage rates. What's your advice to folks right now?
Unfortunately, I think assuming that interest rates stay where they are is what they have to do. I don't think the average consumer tries to read the tea leaves once a month when the Fed meets. But what they do have to do is pay bills on a regular basis. People who are out trying to buy a home have to decide where mortgage rates are going to land. And I think, unfortunately, you're going to have to assume that rates are where they are and make your decisions accordingly. If you're looking to buy a car and there's a rate that's compelling because they're trying to move cars, maybe you take advantage of it. Don't wait around thinking that somehow interest rates are going to miraculously fall. I wish they would.
So don't wait for bigger purchases right now, or paying down debt.
Paying down debt to me is always a good idea. Getting rid of credit card interest is always a good idea. And I'm glad you mentioned credit cards because there's very little correlation between the interest rate of 20-something% you pay in credit cards and all of the stuff we're talking about with the Fed. So if you have interest on credit cards, pay down principal so you're not paying more interest, because even if the Fed cut rates by half a point, I don't think those credit card companies are going to lower their rates at all.
Okay, this is exactly why we have you on. Mitch Roschelle, thank you so much. As always, you're the best. Have a great week.
You bet. See you soon.
See you soon.